This video is a quick introduction to the movesets and functions of all the weapons present in Monster Hunter World as of the second beta. This was thrown together rather hastily originally, just to show a few things to my personal friends, and I missed out on a lot of moves added to the game. The good news is, there will be a few things in the game you haven't seen here. I mention this to point out that I am aware there are extra moves I've missed. That said, it's time for the lightning round. The Greatsword's moveset and function remains very similar to previous iterations of the weapon. However, it has gained a new chain charge to use on stun monsters. The Greatsword's game plan revolves around using its draw slash and roll to capitalize safely off 1 or 2 hits between openings in a monster's pattern, and then to chain high damage charge moves on weak points while the monster is down. While slow, the Greatsword is one of the more precise weapons with the wide horizontal and high vertical swings, good for reaching breakable parts of monsters. The side slap and kick remain, now accompanied by a new shoulder tackle. Circle, triangle, and circle plus triangle combo into each other infinitely. Make sure not to buffer too many inputs so you can roll cancel to safety as needed. The Sword and Shield is a balanced, low-damage DPS weapon similar to the dual swords but with the benefit of a shield that can block oncoming attacks as well as bash for impact damage. The Sword and Shield also has the unique ability to use items with your weapon out. The OG combo remains with a few changes to how the charge attack works. There is a new advancing slash that replaces the old draw slash and uncharged backstep slash. Triangle plus circle is now round slash rather than advancing slash. If you make contact with a fully charged backstep slash, you'll vault into the air for a falling strike. The dual swords are the all-damage, no-defense DPS weapon. Demon Mode is a state that increases DPS and alters your moveset at the expense of stamina. Each hit in Demon Mode contributes to a meter that, when full, adds Demon Mode benefits to your basic moveset. Some of these benefits being a shorter version of the Demon Mode Flurry combo, and changing your roll to a command dash. The basic combo is the same as in previous games, but there have been a few changes in Demon Mode. In Demon Mode, Circle performs what used to be the fully charged non-Demon Mode advancing slash. Additionally, you now Naruto run in Demon Mode, making the state far more menacing. The Longsword is more of a DPS version of the Greatsword. Faster swings, less damage, precision, no shield. Similar to the relationship between Sword and Shield and dual swords. The Longsword has an infinite combo and a move called Fade Slash, which allows you to retreat while attacking. The Longsword's unique trait is the Spirit Gauge. The Spirit Gauge allows you to use Spirit Blade moves. If you perform a full Spirit combo and land the round slash at the end, your sword gains a damage buff. There are 3 levels, white, yellow, and red. The charge will revert to lower levels over time unless re-upped. It is also possible to begin a Spirit combo off of Fade Slash. A new move called Foresight Slash has been added that consumes a large amount of meter. The hammer is one of the more drastically reworked weapons. As you would imagine, the hammer is like the Greatsword in terms of get in, do damage, roll out. However, the hammer does impact damage and can't cut off tails, but can dizzy monsters if struck in the head enough. The newest features of the weapon are the Big Bang attack and the power buff. The hammer's defining feature is its charge, which you can go into after most moves and, unlike the Greatsword, can be held while moving. Level 1 charge is a side swipe that's good for comboing. Level 2 is an advancing uppercut. Level 3, if performed at neutral, is a high damage overhead smash. Or if done while holding a direction, performs a spinning attack that can be followed up with a golf swing if timed correctly. The hammer also has a spinning leap attack while sliding on an incline and holding charge. The Hunting Horn is a support version of the hammer that allows the user to play songs that buff the party. Each attack has an assigned color depending on the horn in use. Swinging the horn plays a note of that color, while landing a hit plays a more effective version of the same note. Previously, you would have to play one song at a time, and playing a new song would re-up the previous song's buffs. However, you can now queue up to 3 songs before using performance mode to activate the effects. As in previous games, you can press R again to activate Encore mode, which will further enhance your buffs. The Lance is a precision weapon with long reach, high sharpness, decent damage, and the best shield in the game. The Lance's moveset is fairly limited, but it can attack and block simultaneously, and also has a back hop and side slide to escape danger if need be. New to World, the Lance and Gun Lance can now hop forward as well. The biggest attribute of the Lance is its ability to change damage types. Monsters will take different damage in different body parts from slash or impact damage. The Lance, however, will always adjust to whichever is more effective. This combined with the Lance's charge attack and jump strike, as well as incredible tanking ability, the charge is best used on a downed monster. Find a joint on the monster's body and charge into it to get yourself stuck and deal quick medium damage hits. The Gun Lance is the dumb fantasy cousin of the Lance. It's one of the dumbest and coolest weapons ever. It's literally called a Gun Lance. The main feature of the Gun Lance are the lance and the gun, as well as the big hunk of metal you use to block stuff. The Gun Lance employs shelling, which lets you fire off explosive shots. New to World is the Wormstone shot, which is a kind of stake that sticks into the monster and then explodes. You can perform this after 2 shots or after the upswing slam side swipe combo. The Wormstone has 1 use before needing to be reloaded. Different lances have different ammo capacities and shell types. Lastly, the Wyvern Fire Blast is a high damage burst attack with a long startup that leaves your weapon in a cooldown state where you deal less damage temporarily. Best used on weak points when a monster is stunned or paralyzed or on sleeping monsters. The Switch Axe is a unique weapon that consists of 2 forms, axe and blade. The axe form is comparable to the longsword in terms of damage and range. In World, Circle Button has been changed to the Wild Swing attack that was previously a follow-up to the Rising Slash. Wild Swing is an infinite as long as you don't run out of stamina. In Blade form, the biggest features are faster attack speeds, a built-in ESP skill, which is the skill in Monster Hunter that prevents your weapon from bouncing off of things due to sharpness, and the element files which give your weapon special attributes like attack up, poison, exhaust, etc. Each swing in sword mode uses up an energy meter, and when the meter empties, you revert to axe form and must recharge. This also occurs when you use the weapon's elemental discharge. The Charge Blade is another very unique weapon that features a large sword and shield as its base form, and an axe similar to the Switch Axe as its secondary form. The main gimmick of the sword form is building up energy in the sword by hitting enemies, primarily with the chargeable circle attack, which requires specific timing. If you release the button immediately, you'll get a weak swipe. If you release after the flash, you'll get a double strike that builds a significant amount of charge. If you build up too much energy, your sword will start to bounce off when you hit, so you have to lock in the charges to fill the weapon files. A yellow charge will fill 3 files, a red charge will fill 5. The files are then used in Axe mode for special attributes specific to each weapon, and an elemental discharge like the Switch Axe. The weapon will auto-block at the end of a round slash or at the beginning of a morph to Axe attack, and you can cancel directly into a morph attack after blocking. In Axe form, circle attacks consume element files, as well as the weapon's elemental discharge. Pressing R during the startup of the element discharge will instead lock your files into the shield, which gives a 20% damage bonus and adds element damage to your shield bash attack. The shield charge lasts for 30 seconds per file consumed. If you charge your sword while the shield is charged, you get access to a stronger elemental discharge that consumes all files in the shield and sword. As you can probably tell, this is one of the more in-depth weapons with a higher skill ceiling than most. In World, pressing forward and circle after an attack in sword mode will perform a slide kick slash. The Insect Glaive is probably one of the most difficult weapons to use effectively. The weapon itself feels rather slow and weak on its own, but the Kinsect allows you to steal essences from monsters that power up your weapon. Red boosts attack, white boosts speed, orange boosts defense and knockback resistance, and green heals a small portion of health. When you acquire red, white, and orange essences at the same time, you gain a 25% attack increase, 8% defense increase, earplugs, and a much faster moveset that adds extra hits to your combo. The kin set can be guided to different parts of the monster's body by placing markers on them via a projectile or strike from the staff itself. Generally speaking, red essence comes from a monster's head, orange from the body, white from the limbs, and green from the tail. This varies for some monsters, of course. Another feature of the Insect Glaive is the pole vault that allows you to jump high into the air without needing a ledge or a wall. This makes mounting monsters easy but can also be used to evade attacks. In World, in addition to the normal falling strike, the Insect Glaive has an air dash attack. The bow is another weapon that requires a lot of skill to use effectively. It requires intimate knowledge of monsters' weak points and elemental weaknesses, as well as resource management. The bow has infinite ammo and different types of shots per bow and depending on how long you hold your shot. Bows can also equip coatings to the arrows for effects like poison or paralysis. It's a fast hit-and-run weapon that benefits greatly from focus on specific armor skills, like skills that aid your stamina usage. You can move while charging your shot, but you'll stop and fire if you run out of stamina. The heavy bowgun is the higher damage cousin to the light bowgun. In addition to higher damage, it features less deviation in shot trajectory, slower fire rate, sheathing and unsheathing animations, and an optional shield attachment that allows auto-guarding. A variety of bullet types, like the bow's coatings, make the heavy bowgun a very versatile weapon that requires a lot of knowledge of monsters' weaknesses to use to its full potential. In World, they've added a special ammo that allows the heavy bowgun to function like a chain gun for a short amount of time, requiring a cooldown once the special ammo has been used up. Another type of special ammo functions as a high-power sniper rifle shot. The heavy bowgun notably has a very long evade distance by default. The light bowgun is what it sounds like. Similar ammo system and function as the multi-purpose ranged attacker/team support with things like healing ammo and attack or defense boosting ammo, but without the shield attachment, faster sheathing and unsheathing, lower accuracy, and higher fire rate. The special ammo for the light bowgun places up to 3 mines that explode when shot. This has been your Route 1 Encounter Yubari Eradicate, and thank you for watching.